Welcome to Dots of Destiny. Hello, Taurus ascendants, moon sign, sunshine. Let us talk in details about your yearly horoscope 2024. 2024, as I have told before, also is ruled by Saturn, as 2 plus 2 plus 4 adds up to 8. And it is specially Yoga Karak planet for you. Saturn, 9th and 10th Lord. And see how the transit is. It is transiting your 10th house also. So this year also, Taurus, if you have not made utilization of 2023, which I think you have done, because Saturn is a strict master and it will make you do the things, please continue with the hard work for 2024. So Saturn will be in your 10th all throughout 2024. Jupiter, it is in the 12th house now in Aries, and it is going direct from 1st of January. Jupiter will come into your first house and by the 1st of May. So here the 11th and the 8th Lord is coming on the first house, and Rahu transiting whole of year in Revati and Uttara Bhadrapada in your 11th house, and Ketu in Virgo transiting in the nakshatra of Chitra and then Hasta. So these are the main outer planets. Your Lagna Lord Venus is starting its transit from Scorpio, your 7th house, as the year begins in January, and it will be coming the whole year. Venus will move this year very fast, as it has no retrogression this year. It will move very fast and it will come down to Scorpio and still move past Scorpio towards Sagittarius Capricorn in 2024. So it will complete a full circle from your starting from your 7th house to your 7th, 8th, 9th houses by the end of 2024. Okay, so Venus is having certain conjunctions this year, like it will conjunct with Saturn, it will conjunct with Jupiter, as it is transiting the whole 12 houses of the zodiac. It is moving quite fast, its natural speed. It will make a 3 months conjunction with Mars also. So this is you, the Lagna Lord, and the 7th Lord making a conjunction. So many matters of the heart can come into fruition, and things can go here and there also. I'll discuss about them. This is how Venus will pan out. Then comes Mercury. Mercury will also start from Scorpio in the beginning of January, and it will come back to Scorpio, Vrishchik Rashi, by the end of 2024 after 3 retrogradations in this whole year. So quite an interesting year, and Mars will start its journey from Sagittarius, that is your 8th house, and it will complete its journey at Cancer. So this is how the inner planets, and Sun every month it will be traveling, as we know. So this is how the inner planets will be making its progress, and the outer planets are staying majorly in the same sign. Only Jupiter will be transiting onto your Lagna. Now there are 4 categories I would love to make the to talk about. First is the professional front, second is the financial, then your relationship and family, and then is health and travel. So let's begin with the professional front. So in the professional front, what I see is that already Saturn is posited in the 10th house in your Aquarius Mool Trikon, Yoga Karak planet, doing very well, being the having the lordship of 10th house. Saturn is really comfortable over there and making you look at long-term professional goals. That is what Saturn always does. That is the nature of Saturn, and from here it will be aspecting your 12th house, your 4th house, and your 7th house. So Saturn is preparing you if you want to, initiate anything, or if you already have done the initiation long back and you want some results. Definitely Saturn is gearing up to give quite good results in the 10th house, as it is the karma karak. So 6th house lord Venus and your 10th house lord Saturn, when they will come together in the 10th house with Mars in Aquarius, they will form a conjunction. That will also be a very good time. So professionally it should be a very good year, really very good year, because the 6th house lord is your daily job. So if your daily job and daily routine is sorted, as Venus is not having major bad conjunctions this year, I'll say, and also it is not going retrograde, it is not slowing down, it is flowing its own course. So I feel that when the 6th and 10th houses are really doing good, there should not be much of complaint in the professional area. Lest you make the thing complicated, that it's different, because understand Saturn will never give very quick results. So hard work will be a process. Work hard, work systematic, work things into perspective, think about a plan, and those are long-term goals, and then work towards it systematically. But if you have already done some good work, Saturn will definitely give the results. Now I come to the financial part. That is your 11th house lord Jupiter is in the 12th house till first 4 months, and then it will come on the Lagna. And the 2nd house lord is Mercury. So Mercury will, as you know, Mercury has its retrogradations always. It comes back, goes direct, retrogrades. Those can be discussed only in the transit videos in the monthly horoscope. But over here, the main thing that I'll say is that as Rahu is posited in the 11th house, if you have a Rahu Mahadasha, Rahu Antardasha, so you will have some kind of desire fulfillment with gains area of your life. And Jupiter coming on the Lagna from the 1st of May, Jupiter will be in Taurus. It will go retrograde by the mid of November until 4th of February. So 119 days of retrogradations for Jupiter. See, it is the 11th lord. It is coming on the Lagna. So obviously you should and you will get some gains in the professional field also, because in the Kendra you're getting Saturn and Jupiter together. This is a very good combination. So I hope that your desires, I feel that at least one of your desires get fulfilled this year, because there's a huge chance whenever Saturn Jupiter are posited on the Kendra, it becomes, because Kendra are the blocks or building blocks or the solid blocks that we rest upon, those 1, 4, 7, 10. So when Jupiter and Saturn is in the Kendra, they are bound, they are gearing up to give some good result. So that way, I think if you take the savings part, see, Taurus people, whenever I look into your 2nd house, Gemini is the sign over there. So your Gemini being a very frivolous sign, very swift moving planet Mercury we are talking about, it's not the sign of Virgo. So you should keep a very steady watch on your finances always, because Mercury behaves a little bit like a kid when it comes to Gemini. It wants to do all the things in the family also, in the family front also, whereas Mercury will go in retrograde only in the watery signs of Cancer, of Scorpio, and of Pisces. So this is your this is your 3rd house, this is your 7th house, and the 11th house. So in the Kama Trikon, maybe some relationship will come into fruition. You can get into relationships this year, But according to the family and relationship area, let me tell you something, Taurus. That is, the seventh house is getting the aspect of Jupiter, Saturn, and Rahu. Jupiter by seventh aspect, Saturn 10th aspect, and Rahu is also aspecting your seventh house from the 11th, because I take the fifth and ninth aspect of Rahu. So here the seventh house is becoming very prominent when it gets so many aspects from three major planets. Now, if you are running a Mars Mahadasha Antardasha, you are bound to heading towards a relationship build-up. So that is the that can happen very much this year when Jupiter transits the Lagna. This can be the time of good relationships building up, and also because it is aspecting the seventh house with Saturn and Rahu, it can culminate into marriage also. But having said that, let me just put in a point over here that Ketu is in the fifth house in Virgo, and your Jupiter is not only your 11th lord, your 8th lord also. So understand one thing, that 8th lord, 11th lord, they are not very benefic in your horoscope. Jupiter is a benefic planet, but in your horoscope they are not exact benefics that we are talking about, being the 8th and the 11th lord. Coming on the Lagna can bring sudden changes, whether good or bad, in your relationship. Be a little thoughtful when you come into getting into a relationship or jumping into some kind of a thing. Think twice, because the 8th lord has lot of repercussions also. It can it can bring out a lot of transformation. After going into relationship also, we can feel that it is just not the same what we had thought of, because Ketu being there in Virgo, it's not a great position for Ketu. For mantra chanting, for other things, it's good, the fifth house, but it is not, Ketu is not a planet for love and relationship. So be careful in that area. If you have to do a marriage, think about it. Bring out a good muhurtam and all this, and look into the matters, get little things clarified, and take steps after a little bit of introspection. That is what I wanted to say. Otherwise, it is a good time, and you can, I think you will, this year will bring you good professional, financial, family happiness. These things will happen. Okay, because Jupiter is on the Lagna. Jupiter on the Lagna brings very much many good things also, and it is your 11th house lord. Now let me come to the health part of it. Here also, being the 8th lord sitting on the Lagna, I feel health needs lot of attention. Sudden health problems can appear. Your 7th house is getting too much of energy, and your Lagna 8th lord is always there, mostly throughout the year till 2025 April, May. So it can bring out some problems related to Jupiter, like liver issues, cholesterol issues, flatulence, all these things can happen. So be a little careful about your wealth, because Saturn is also aspecting the 12th house. So that you must keep in mind, that Saturn will make you work more, and maybe for late nights, wake up at night. So these things can happen. And Rahu gives a kind of restlessness, or rather Ketu in the 5th gives a kind of, because 5th is our mind, it is the intelligence. Sometimes Ketu gives a kind of restlessness in that area, though Jupiter is aspecting this Ketu, but still, the planet being a very cutting planet, it gives some kind of thought process with the, or it can have some thing with the brain. The intelligence can feel a little swayed, because Ketu is after all a headless planet, and depending on the transit of Mercury, it depends. If Mercury is suppose in a well situation, then it's good, but if Mercury is going into in places where, like, it's getting retrograde in watery sign, your intelligence can get a little disturbed, and your sleep process can also get a little disturbed. So this is the major things that is happening in the horoscope. And Mars is your relationship lord. That is, Mars is your the ruler of the 12th house and the 7th house. Now just a reminder is that due to the transit of Mars beginning from your 8th house, be a little careful about your health also at that point of time. Mars will start from Sagittarius in the 8th house from January, then it will move to your 9th house Capricorn, then 10th house. Here 10th house, it will make a conjunction with Saturn. 10th house Aquarius from mid of February to last week of April, something like that, it will have a Shani Mangal yoga in the 10th. Be calm at that point of time. Both are very high energy planet. Energy means they are very huge planets to change your destiny in the 10th house, because Saturn is a cold planet, Mars is a very hot planet. Both coming together with Venus also being there, you have to be a little patient at this point of time, because when Mars comes into the 10th house, it gains its exaltation. Remember, Mars gets exalted in Capricorn originally in the 10th, so it wants to be a go-getter. And if you're having a Pratyanta Dasha, Antardasha, some kind of phases of running Mars at that point of time, you can get a bit agitated, as Saturn wants you to be slow and steady, Mars propels you to be fast in your approach. So here, cultivate some patience. And when Mars goes into your 11th house, Rahu Mars, one Angarak yoga is caused. Though 11th house, I feel, is capable of handling the Mars Rahu energy together, but still whenever these two major planets they come together, a little bit 1.5 month of a period of little bit not getting too much swayed away by things, because they are very huge energy. Mars is fire, Rahu inflates that fire. So you can understand, don't go overboard, so don't spend too much, because after immediately this, you have a good income at that point of time when Rahu and Mars is coming together. Immediately Mars will move into the 12th house, its own house, Aries. It will start its cycle from Aries in the first week of June. So here, if you go too overboard when Rahu Mars conjunction happens in the 12th, then you may become too much, some kind of excess money expenditure or certain things can happen. Again, health part should be kept in notice. So Mars and Jupiter is telling you this year to keep a watch on your health, because when Mars will be in the 12th, Saturn will aspect that Mars will be in your 12th house in the first week of June, and it will be there for 1.5 months. So be a little cautious about your health at that time, and also once it comes to your Lagna, because Jupiter will also be on the Lagna. Please watch these dates. I'll be talking about them in details, but Mars is your 7th and the 12th lord, and Jupiter is your 11th and the 8th lord, both together on the Lagna. I personally don't feel it is a very good conjunction for Taurus ascendants. For the ascendant, something else, not for you. So having said that, though Saturn is in the Kendra, nothing major, but yes, minor here and there, things can go a little bit in a down south. So this is why we prepare overall view of the year, so that you get prepared when the year is gearing up to give you what at what point of time. So this is how the year will pan out. It will be a very dynamic year actually, because so many planets, and especially Mars, when it is getting into your 10th house, in your 11th house, in your first house, giving conjunctions. Your Lagna Lord is also doing the same. And if you are not running a very negative Dasha Mahadasha, you are bound to get good results as far as this year is concerned, especially your professional and the financial front. Health and relationship front needs a little bit of handling. Health, you must be very cautious, because health is wealth, we all know that. And relationship also, when too much energy comes into that area, we have to handle it a little properly. and because Jupiter is the 8th lord, remember that if you go into a marriage or something also, you have to understand that it is the 8th lord. So think before going into big decisions. So that is the thing. So this is how the whole year will be panning out, Taurus. Hope I'm able to throw some important areas, light on some important areas, and hope you make the most of it, because yes, after all, remember that whole year Jupiter and Saturn will be on the Kendra, in your Kendra, and Rahu in your highest desire fulfillment house. So have a great year ahead. Thank you. We'll meet in the next videos.